was living in a low light, trying not to feel too much, holding on with quiet hands, missing every tender touch. Even hope had lost its color, even faith had turned away. Then a softer kind of healing brought a rose through the gray. Rose through the gray, slowly finding me, not in flames and not in thunder, just in quiet clarity. Rose through the gray, warm enough to stay. Every hidden part of hurting starts to open that way. Now the ache is less a prison, more truth that breathes and moves. I can let it pass beside me, I can loosen what I lose. There is strength inside the softness, there is a light that does not sway, there is love that keeps returning like a rose through the gray. If the old weight calls my name out, I won't answer like before. I have learned the heart grows deeper when it does not harden more, and the peace I used to long for wasn't lost, just far away, waiting for the soul to trust it, like a rose through the gray. Rose through the gray. Now I see it plain. Healing is a patient color, running gently through the pain. Rose through the gray, soft but strong enough to stay. Every fragile part of living finds a brighter kind of way. Rose through the gray, still finding me. A single thread of silver light finds its way through the longest night. It doesn't pull, it doesn't lead, just gently touches what I need. I follow where this silver thread may leads me back to who I used to know before the world taught me to run alone. The heavy years have left their mark, but this thin thread still finds the dark. It weaves through all the cracks I hide and turns them slowly into light. I follow where this silver thread may go, slow and quiet, soft and slow. It leads me back to who I used to know before the world taught me to run alone. And when I feel I've lost the way again, I close my eyes and feel the thread within. I follow where this silver thread may go, the gentlest path I've ever known. It holds me close, it lets me be. The silver thread is home to me. You don't have to search anymore. You don't have to walk through another door. Everything you've been looking for has been waiting right here all along. You are already home. You are already whole, even with the cracks, even with the holes. You are already home, my love. The tired eyes, the heavy hands, the quiet ache nobody understands. They don't need fixing, they just need to know they've always been worthy of this gentle glow. You are already home. You are already whole, even with the cracks, even with the holes. You are already home. become your lullaby. You are already home. You are already whole. Let every broken piece feel loved and known. You are already home. You never left at all. I was waiting for a change I could not explain at all. Just a softer way of living after holding through the fall. Then a quiet light came near me, not in waves, not all at once, just a calm that kept on breathing till my guarded heart unlocked. Oh, both through the stillness, soft and clear, a little more of healing finding me right here. Oh, both through the stillness, warm and true, every shaded part of me lets a little light come through. I don't need to force tomorrow. I don't need to outrun pain. There is mercy in the slowing. There is meaning in the rain. What was heavy starts to loosen. What was tired starts to wake. Love can move in patient colors for a tender heart to take. If the old ache brushes by me, I will breathe and let it pass. I have learned the deepest comfort does not always have to last. It just needs to leave a kindness. It just needs to leave a trace, so the soul can keep on turning toward a softer kind of grace. Oh, both through the stillness, soft and wide, a little more of living opening inside. Oh, both through the stillness, steady as the truth. Every broken part of me finds a gentler way to move. hold the sorrow like it had a right to stay. Like every tender part of me was made to bear the weight. But something in the silence began to turn and break. A softer kind of mercy brought ivory through the ache. Ivory through the ache, quiet and slow. Not a flash of lightning, just a gentle glow. Ivory through the ache, soft enough to stay, turning all the hurt in me toward a kinder way. I can feel the tightness easing. I can feel the fear grow thin. There is peace inside the breathing. There is room to live again. What once felt too sharp to carry now moves lighter when it wakes. Love can come in patient colors, like ivory through the ache. If the old pain rises in me, I won't hand it all my name. I have learned that healing sometimes looks like softness without shame. Ivory through the ache, warm and clear and true. A little more of life returns in everything I do. Ivory through the ache, steady as a flame. What was torn and tired in me will not stay the same. Today my heart woke softer than it did a while ago. Not because the pain is over, just because it lets me slow. There is kindness in the breathing. There is room to feel and trust. What was heavy in my body isn't holding on as much. Peach light in my pulse, warm and low. toward a gentler glow. Peach light in my pulse, soft and true. Every fragile part within me lets the healing through. I don't need to name the sorrow. I don't need to force it gone. There is mercy in the waiting. There is strength in moving on. What was closed begins to open. What was tense begins to rest. Love can find the hidden places and leave warmth inside my chest. If the old ache finds me later, I will breathe and stay with me. I have learned that tender healing can be quiet and still run deep. Peach light in my pulse, clear and deep. A little more peace I get to keep. Peach light in my pulse, bright and new. Every broken thread within me finds a softer way through. The world outside is gone to sleep, and I am here with all I couldn't keep. My tired heart is beating soft and low, like it finally found a place to go. Hold me like this, just like this, with no conditions, no need to fix. Let your warmth surround the parts of me that never felt safe enough to be. I've been strong for such a long, long time. Tonight I'm letting go of that old line. My shoulders drop, my breathing starts to ease, and something kind is moving through me. Hold me like this, just like this, with no conditions, no need to fix. Let your warmth surround the parts of me that never felt safe enough to be. No words are needed, no story to tell, stay right here and hold me well. Hold me like this, just like this. Let every broken thing find rest. I am safe, I am seen, I am blessed. Hold me like this and let me rest. Carried all that sorrow like it still belonged to me, till a softer kind of mercy laid its hand on everything. Not to take away the hurting, not to say it never stayed, just to let a little comfort find the places fear had made. Pearl in the quiet, soft and slow, a little light begins to show. Pearl in the quiet, calm and true. What was lost comes back into view. I can feel the weight grow lighter when I stop resisting it. There is peace inside the breathing. There is grace in yielding bit by bit. What once felt too deep to carry now moves gently through my chest, like my heart has learned a rhythm that can hold and still let rest. If the old ache comes tomorrow, I will meet it without fear. I have learned that tender healing doesn't leave when pain draws near. Pearl in the quiet, warm and clear, not all at once, but it is here. Pearl in the quiet, soft and new. Every broken part of me finds its way back through. used to chase the morning sun, trying to outrun what I'd become. But tonight I'm learning something new, to stop running and just sit with you. I'm letting the light stay, not pushing it away, not asking it to shine so bright, just letting the light stay with me tonight. The parts of me I once called weak are speaking softer now. I hear them speak. They don't want fixing, they just want to be held gently in this quiet company. I'm letting the light stay, not pushing it away, not asking it to shine so bright, just letting the light stay with me tonight. And if it flickers, if it starts to fade, I'll stay right here. I won't be afraid. I'm letting the light stay, letting it warm the darker parts of me. No need to understand, no need to see, just letting the light stay, and it's enough for me. I was all hush, all worn thin, holding on to what had been. Then a slow warmth moved within, small and deep, amber in the still, amber in the still, soft and low, not a fire, just a glow. Amber in the still stays with me, calm enough to set me free. I don't chase what is gone, I let peace lead me on. What once ached starts to heal, little flames, amber in the still. I breathe out, I let it in. There is strength, soft and real. There is love, I can feel. Amber in the still, warm and near. Not too much, just enough here. Amber in the still, clear and true. Slowly now I come back through. The house is quiet, the day is done. I sit here talking to no one, just me and all these thoughts I've known, turning slowly into something of my own. One slow breath, that's all I need tonight. One slow breath to make the heavy feel light. No hurry, no worry, no place to be, just one slow breath, and it's enough for me. I tell my worries they can stay, but they don't have to have their way. I let them sit here by my side, like tired friends who no longer need to hide. One slow breath, that's all I need tonight. One slow breath to make the heavy feel light. No hurry, no worry, no place to be, just one slow breath, and it's enough for me. And if tomorrow feels too loud again, I'll come back here and find this gentle friend. One slow breath, that's all I need tonight. One slow breath to set my spirit right. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to go, just one slow breath, and I let it all go. I can feel the tightness easing, not as sharp as yesterday. What was resting on my shoulders doesn't have to stay that way. There is something kind and patient moving through me like a flame, not to burn away the sorrow, just to soften what it shaped. Lavender finds my name, soft across the pain, not to hide what happened, just to make me whole again. Lavender finds my name, slow and warm and true. Every tired part of me lets in something new. I don't need to force the healing, I don't need to erase the light. There is mercy in the breathing, there is comfort in tonight. What was heavy now is turning, what was closed begins to move. Love can reach the quiet places and teach the heart to bloom. If the old ache comes back near me, I will breathe and let it pass. I have learned that gentle power can outlive what could not last. Lavender finds my name, clearer than before. Every broken thread inside me doesn't pull that hard anymore. Lavender finds my name, soft and deep and bright. Every tender part of me comes back into life. Walking through the sorrow like it knew me by my name. Every tender thought felt fragile, every comfort felt too late. Then a quieter kind of kindness moved across the fear in me, not to turn the dark to daylight, just to help my heart believe. Copper in the mist, warm and low, a little light I didn't know. Copper in the mist, soft and near, turning all the hidden hurt into something clear. I don't need to find the ending, I don't need to force the dawn. There is mercy in the waiting, there is strength in going on. What was heavy starts to loosen, what was If the old ache comes back softly, I will meet it, I will breathe. I have learned that steady healing doesn't ask too much of me. Just a little more surrender, just a little room to feel, till the heart I thought was breaking learns how quiet hope can heal. Copper in the mist, still and true, a little warmth comes walking through. Copper in the mist, deep and slow, every tired part of me begins to glow. Close my eyes and feel you near. The quiet air begins to clear. My shoulders drop, my hands unfold, and something gentle takes a hold. I'm breathing with you, slowly now, in and out. We take a vow, no need to speak, no need to try, just breathe in here, you and I. The day has left its heavy trace, but in this moment there's a grace. My tired heart begins to ease and finds its rhythm in this peace. I'm breathing with you, slowly now, in and out. We take a vow, no need to speak, no need to try, just breathe in here, you and I. And if the night feels long and wide, I'll stay right here, right by your side. I'm breathing with you, slowly, gently true. Nothing left to chase, nothing left to do, just breathe in with you. like it had become my skin. Every tender thought grew heavy, every breath pulled inward in. Then a softer shade came over, not to hurry, not to take, just to lay a little mercy, like apricot on the ache, apricot on the ache, warm and slow, a little light begins to show, apricot on the ache, soft and true, turning all the tired parts towards something new. I don't need a sudden answer, I don't need the whole sky clear. There is healing in the quiet, there is comfort staying here. What once felt too sharp to carry now can loosen, now can break. Love can move in patient colors, like apricot on the ache. If the old pain finds me later, I will not become its name. I have learned that gentle living does not mean I burn with shame. There is power in the softness, there is strength in what can bend, there is hope inside the heart that learns to open up again. Apricot on the ache, clear and deep, a little peace I get to keep. Apricot on the ache, warm and wide, every broken part of me lets in a kinder light. There's an ache that stays when the day is gone, not loud, not sharp, just lingering on. It sits beside me like an old friend, doesn't ask for much, just wants to be seen. And I let it stay, I let it stay, like smoke from a fire on a cold winter day. It doesn't break me, it doesn't demand, it only reminds me I'm still human. I used to run when the feeling came near. Now I pour it a cup and hold it here. We talk in silence, we breathe real slow. The ache and I, we've come to know, and I let it stay. I let it stay, like smoke from a fire on a cold winter day. It doesn't break me, it doesn't demand, it only reminds me I'm still human. Oh, some nights it feels like an old love song, the kind that hurts but still feels like home. So I let it stay, I let it stay, let it wrap around me in its own sweet way. No need to fix it, no need to hide. I'll sit with the ache till it says goodnight. There was a time my heart went quiet, not from peace but from the strain, like the color had gone missing from the feeling in my name. I kept moving through the softness with a weight I never knew, till a little warmth came rising like gold in the blue. Gold in the blue, slowly shining through. Not enough to blind the darkness, just enough to lead me through. Gold in the blue, soft and steady truth. Every tender part of healing brings a little gold in the blue. Now the hurt feels less like ending, more like something passing by, less a shadow I live under, more a change in how I try. I don't need a grand redemption, I don't need the whole world new, just a faithful kind of mercy, like gold in the blue. If the old ache reaches for me, I will not give in that fast. There is quiet strength within me, there is light that learns to last, and the love I could not feel through, waiting for the hour it found me as gold in the blue, gold in the blue. Now I know it's true. Healing does not come in thunder. It comes breathing me back through. Gold in the blue, warm enough to move every tender part of living. Turns a little gold in the blue, gold in the blue, still coming through. I can feel the day grow softer. I can feel my chest release. What was heavy in the silence doesn't hold the same on me. There is no need to be fearless. There is no need to hide the rain. I have learned a heart can open even while it heals the pain. Warmth comes back to me, slow and sure, like a tender kind of mercy, making all the broken pure. Warmth comes back to me, deep and clear, turning all my tired sorrow into something I can hear. I don't need to chase a meaning, I don't need to force a sign. There is comfort in the breathing, there is healing in the time. What was restless starts to settle, what was shaking starts to trust. Love can find the smallest places and still be strong enough. If tomorrow brings the old ache, I will meet it, I will stay. I have learned that gentle healing doesn't have to rush its way. There is light inside the living, there is grace inside the slow, there is hope inside a heart that finally lets warmth show. Warmth comes back to me, soft and bright, laying calm across the places that were hurting through the night. Warmth comes back to me, true and new. Every broken thread within me finds a kinder way through. You don't have to carry was never yours to keep. You can let it leave now, slow as falling into sleep. Take the weight off gently, let it loosen, let it go. There is nothing here to prove. You can move your heart more slow. Rest, my quiet one, rest here with me. Let your tired heart fall back into peace. Long as you need, slow as a prayer. Rest, my quiet one, I will meet you there. I can hear the shaking in the words you never say. You don't have to name it, you can let it fade away. Every little silence brings you closer to your own. Not by holding tighter, just by learning to let go. If the tears come easy, let them come and leave. Healing has a soft voice, but it knows just what you need. Rest, my quiet one, rest here with me. Let your tired heart fall back into peace. Long as you need, slow as a song. Rest, my quiet one, you are safe alone. Rest, my quiet one. Let go now. The night has tucked the worries far away. I feel my shoulders softening as they lay. All the things I thought I had to be are resting now so quietly with me. My gentle tomorrow waits for me with open hands and no demands. It doesn't ask me to be strong or right, it only whispers, you're enough tonight. I've carried heavy things for far too long. set them down where they belong. My heart is tired in the kindest way, and love is letting it rest here and stay. My gentle tomorrow waits for me with open hands and no demands. It doesn't ask me to be strong or right. It only whispers, you're enough tonight. And I can feel it holding me so near, like a mother's voice I haven't heard in years. My gentle tomorrow waits for me with all the patience that I need. No rush, no worry, nothing left to prove. Just this warm and quiet truth. I am loved. I am enough tonight. I was holding too much thunder in the center of my chest, trying hard to keep from falling, trying harder not to rest. Then a hush came down around me, not to hide the truth I wore, just to turn the sharpest edges into something soft once more. Velvet after the storm, warm against my skin. What was rough and restless loses weight within. Velvet after the storm, slow and deep and true, a gentler kind of healing comes walking through. Now the ache no longer owns me, even when it passes by. I can feel a steady mercy in the way I breathe tonight. Not a fire, not a breaking, just a calm that holds its form. like the heart can still remember. Velvet after the storm. If the dark returns tomorrow, I will not unlearn this grace. There is strength inside the softness. There is light I do not chase. Velvet after the storm, soft enough to stay. Every tender part of me finds a kinder way. Velvet after the storm, clearer than before. What was lost in all the sorrow feels alive once more. There's an ache that stays when the day is gone. Not loud, not sharp, just lingering on. It sits beside me like an old friend. Doesn't ask for much, just wants to be seen. And I let it stay, I let it stay, like smoke from a fire on a cold winter day. It doesn't break me, it doesn't demand, it only reminds me I'm still human. I used to run when the feeling came near. Now I pour it a cup and hold it here. We talk in silence, we breathe real slow. The ache and I, we've come to know. And I let it stay, I let it stay, like smoke from a fire on a cold winter day. It doesn't break me, it doesn't demand, it only reminds me I'm still human. Oh, some nights it feels like an old love song, the kind that hurts but still feels like home. I let it linger, I let it flow. So I let it stay. I let it stay. Let it wrap around me in its own sweet way. No need to fix it, no need to hide. I'll sit with the ache till it says goodnight. I was carrying the silence like a stone beneath my skin. Every tender thought grew heavy. Every light was wearing thin. Then a softer shade came over, not to take the hurt away, just to lay a little comfort on the places it had stayed. Lilac in the hollow, soft and slow, a quiet kind of healing only the heart can know. Lilac in the hollow, calm and deep, turning all my restless sorrow into something I can keep. I don't need a sudden answer, I don't need the whole sky clear. There is mercy in the waiting, there is peace arriving here. What was bruised begins to open, what was fearful starts to trust. Love can move in muted colors and still be strong enough. If the old ache finds me later, I won't meet it with a fight. I have learned that gentle courage can outlast a harder night. Lilac in the hollow, warm and true, every fragile part of living finds a softer way through. Lilac in the hollow, still and bright, holding all my broken edges in a kinder light. I was carrying old sorrow like it still had room to grow. Every tender part a softer shade came over, not to fix what used to be, just to lay a quieter comfort, like moss green mercy over me. Moss green mercy, soft and deep, a little peace I get to keep. Moss green mercy, warm and slow, teaching all my restless places how to let go. I don't need to rush the healing, I don't need to force the light. There is kindness in the waiting, there is grace inside the night. What was heavy starts to loosen, what was sharp begins to ease. Love can move in patient colors and still find all of me. If the old ache turns and finds me, I will breathe and let it pass. I have learned that gentle living can outlast what did not last. There is strength inside the softness, there is truth in being warm, there is hope inside a heart that keeps choosing to be warm. Moss green mercy, clear and true, a little more of living comes walking through. Moss green mercy, soft and wide, every broken thread in me finds a kinder side. I was holding to the silence like it knew the way I break. Every tender thought felt heavier, every breath a little late. Then a warmer kind of kindness moved across the fading ache, not to take away the sadness, just to help my heart stay awake. Honey in the blue hour, soft and slow, a little light begins to show. Honey in the blue hour, warm and true, every tired part of me lets the healing through. I don't need to name the sorrow, I don't need to force it gone. There is mercy in the breathing, is grace in going on. What was restless starts to soften. What was dim begins to move. Love can come in quiet colors, like honey in the blue hour. If the old ache finds me later, I will meet it without fear. I have learned that gentle healing knows exactly how to hear. Not with thunder, not with fire, just a steady kind of light that can hold me through the dark and lead me back to life. Honey in the blue hour, clear and deep, a little peace I get to keep. Honey in the blue hour, soft and near, every broken thread in me feels a little brighter here. I felt the old ache fading, like a shadow losing form. Not all at once, not all at once, but softer than before. There was warmth inside the silence, there was calm I did not see, a tender kind of mercy laying gold across me. Saffron in the slow air, soft against my skin. A quiet light is turning where the dark had been. Saffron in the slow air, warm and passing through. Every tired part of me begins to open too. I don't need to force it, I don't need to know why the heart grows lighter when it lets go slow. There is peace in being honest, there is grace in being worn, there is love that keeps arriving in a shape so warm. If tomorrow brings the old weight, I will not fall apart. I have learned that gentle healing knows the way back to the heart. Saffron in the slow air, clear and calm and deep. A little more of living wakes inside of me. finds its way back through. I was keeping all the silence in the corners of my chest, like if I stayed still enough, the hurt might learn to rest. Then a softer kind of color moved across the tired spark, not too bright, not asking much, just teal on the tender dark. Teal on the tender dark, soft and slow, a little peace begins to show. Teal on the tender dark, calm and true, every fragile part of me lets the healing through. I don't need to rush the morning, I don't need the whole sky clear. There is mercy in the breathing, there is comfort staying near. What was heavy starts to loosen, what was strained begins to ease. Love can come in quiet colors and still move through me deep. If the old ache finds me later, I will not give it my name. I have learned that gentle living can outlast a harder pain. There is strength inside the softness, there is light that does not force, there is hope inside a heart that learns to trust its course. Teal on the tender dark, warm and white, a little more of living opens up inside. Teal on the tender dark, clear and new, every broken thread in me finds a kinder blue. I kept the hurt in quiet places where it would not ask for more. Thought if I could hold it still enough, it might not reach my core. Then a warmer shade came through me, like a promise without sound, not to take away the sound, sorrow, just to lay some mercy down. When marigold returns, it doesn't rush the dark, it lays a gentle fire along the sleeping heart. Line by line it mends what sorrow could not move. When marigold returns, I return too. I can feel the weight grow lighter, not all gone, but less than before. What once lived inside the silence doesn't rule me anymore. There is peace inside the slowing, there is grace in being true, there is love that keeps on finding every tender part of you. If the old ache comes tomorrow, I will meet it without shame. I have learned that softer living does not make me any less brave. When marigold returns, it comes in steady light, it warms the hidden places that stayed cold through every night. Line by line it heals what fear once pulled apart. When marigold returns, it blooms inside my heart. I was trying to be stronger than a heart was meant to be, holding every tender fracture like it could not live in me. Then a quieter kind of mercy laid its hand on all that strain, not to take away the feeling, just to make it soft again. Soft enough to stay, soft enough to heal, soft enough to let the broken say exactly what they feel. I don't have to turn away, I don't have to be afraid. Love can find me where I am, soft enough to stay. Now the ache is less a shadow, more a truth I understand. It can pass without undoing everything I am. And the peace is not a wonder, falling fast and calling loud, steady kindness settling through me now. If tomorrow brings the old weight, I will meet it, I will breathe. I have learned that gentle things can be stronger than the grief. Soft enough to stay, soft enough to mend, soft enough to hold the silence till it opens up again. I don't need to rush the light, I don't need to chase the end. Love can find me where I am, soft enough to stay. Stay with me now, soft enough to heal, soft enough to stay. I can feel my heart grow lighter than it used to in the dark. What was trembling in my body doesn't hit me quite as hard. There is calm inside the stillness, there is warmth beneath the strain. Something kind is settling in me, like soft color after rain. Sunstone in my silence, warm and low, finding all the hidden places only mercy knows. Sunstone in my silence, clear and true. Every tired part within me lets the healing through. I don't need to rush tomorrow, I don't need to force the light. There is comfort in the breathing, there is shelter in tonight. What was heavy starts to loosen, what was closed begins to bend. Love can reach the quiet corners and make them bright again. If the old ache finds me later, I will breathe and let it pass. I have learned that tender healing can be strong enough to last. Sunstone in my silence, soft and deep. A little more of peace each day I get to keep. Sunstone in my silence, bright and new. Every broken thread within me finds gentler way through. I can feel my breathing slow now. I can feel the weight give way. What was pressing on my heart doesn't have to live there today. There is nothing I must prove now. There is nothing I must hide. I can let the hurting loosen. I can leave it by my side. Safe in the soft light, safe in the slow, held by a mercy my heart can know. Safe in the soft light, warm and deep, a little more healing I get to keep. I don't need a sudden answer. I don't need to rush the dawn. There is comfort in the quiet. There is strength in moving on. What was restless turns more gentle. What was heavy turns to air. Love can reach the tired places and find me waiting there. If the old ache comes tomorrow, I will breathe and let it pass. I have learned that tender healing does not need to move too fast. Safe in the soft light, safe in the clear, a little more peace is living here. Safe in the soft light, soft and true, every broken part of me finds its way back through. Borrow this heartbeat when mine grows weak. A steady knocking only I can seek. It echoes softly through my tired bones, reminding me I'm never truly alone. This heartbeat I borrow keeps me warm doesn't judge, it doesn't ask why. It simply beats until I learn to fly. Sometimes I forget how strong I've been. This rhythm helps me find my way again. Tap by tap, it teaches me to trust that even broken hearts can turn to dust. This heartbeat I borrow keeps me warm through the longest night and coming storm. It doesn't judge, it doesn't ask why. It simply beats until I learn to fly. And when the tapping grows a little slow, I know it's time to let my own heart go. This heartbeat I borrow keeps me warm. A quiet promise through the dark and dawn. One day I'll give it back with grateful hands, but for tonight it understands. For a while I felt faded, like my soul had gone to sleep, like the light had stepped back softly, running silent under me. I was moving without knowing if the warmth would ever stay. Then a little change came over what had slowly slipped away. Color comes back slow, soft as morning on the skin. Color comes back slow, where the ache had always been. Not all at once, not in a rush, just enough to let me know. Color comes back slow. I can feel a gentle stirring in the parts I kept turned down. Not a flood and not a fire, just a calm I have found. Every breath feels a little kinder, every thought a little less cold. What was quiet for so long now starts to open, starts to glow. Maybe healing isn't thunder, maybe healing speaks this way, in a hush and steady mercy, in a love that learns to stay. Color comes back slow, soft as morning in the heart. Color comes back slow, right where I had come apart. Not all at once, slow. Comes back slow. Into my soul. I was all blue, all pulled low, quiet hurt, moving slow. Then a soft change came through me, warm and small, like mercy. Blue turns honey when love stays, soft and steady through the gray. Blue turns honey drop by drop. What was bitter lifts and stops. I don't rush, I don't run, I let peace come undone. In my chest, in my skin, light comes back, very thin. If the old ache calls me near, I breathe once, it clears. There is strength in going slow. There is grace in letting go. Turns honey, now I know. Healing moves soft and low. Blue turns honey, deep and true. What was heavy lets me through. I've been holding too tightly to a feeling worn and thin, like a door left half open to the hurt that wandered in. Now the silence feels kinder, now the air begins to ease. What was knotted in the dark starts to loosen quietly, unwind in me, slow and tender, unwind in me, till I remember how to be still, how to be free. All that was heavy, unwind in me. I don't need a sudden answer, I Don't need to force the light. There is healing in the softening. There is mercy in tonight. Every breath becomes a little more forgiving than before. Like my heart has found a rhythm, it can finally rest inside. If the old pain tries to linger, I will let it pass on through. I'm not the fear I carried, I am something warm and true. Unwind in me, slow and tender. Unwind in me till I remember how to let go, how to believe all that was restless